you're getting them in the mind frame of like why today is the day to take action. Why is now the time to actually move forward with this, right? We don't want to work, and we want to qualify people. We don't want people who are going to procrastinate. We want to know that people are in the right time today to be able to start implementing change, especially if you're selling a high ticket product or service. Why do you think I'm awesome? Why do you think I'm awesome now? So what's up guys, Starr here. Welcome to the channel. If you have been keeping up with the series so far, I'm teaching you guys the entire 8-step inception flow, my sales trainings and methods that I've incorporated in past courses, programs, everything that I'm teaching now for free on YouTube so that you guys can get value for closing for yourself, your own business and company, or for somebody else. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about and you are watching this video at step 2, please make sure you go down into the description of this video and rewatch the previous videos to get up to this point, because we are now on step 2. And leverage is this part of the phases. We're actually going to be using the seed that you planted from the previous videos now at this step and phase of the process. And the easiest way to do this is by this question, right? Why blank and why now? Just like I joked before, right? Why am I awesome and why now? Just a funny way to be able to kind of flip the script and gauge somebody's interest level. So now we get to kind of leverage and gauge someone's interest level in the seed that you had planted, and that happens right now, immediately after the introduction. Gauging their interest level. I'm going to continue using the same past examples from previous videos, just so like everything will kind of come together. So let's again pretend we are on the one and only Mark Cuban's team. Right, Mark Cuban is the business that you are closing for, or if you're closing for something else, it doesn't matter. This could be leveraging him, let's say he created an investing program. I'm gonna say IP for investing program, or you have your own company, you're doing coaching, consulting for fitness, and keto. Keto is the thing that you're selling, right? Or if you're a B2B company, maybe you have SEO searches, search engine optimization. It does not matter, right? The seed that has been planted before, as long as that seed has been planted, we have so many different things that we get to leverage. So write this down and remember this. Why blank and why now? Why I'm asking this question? Because like I told you before, if you remember the timeline, from the overview of the 8 steps, now we're coming into play. We want to start and see where they are at right now. Now, we are in the now phase. Right now, today, the time that we're having this conversation, where are they at in this part? So, where the interest level here as well. So, okay, so let's say it was keto. Okay, now, this is not meant to be asked literally verbatim exactly as it is, right? I used to in my past academy and courses and coaching programs, I would review people's calls and they would literally say the same thing, like why Amazon and why now, or why Shopify and why now, right? This needs to flow as a normal conversation, and you just want to gauge where they're at today, right? So in this case, right? So just like the previous example, let's say the prospect's name is Bob. So Bob, I'm curious, why do you feel like ranking and having search engine optimization is going to be a good fit for your company? And why is now so important to start implementing this into your business compared to before? Right? You see what I'm doing? What I'm doing is I'm asking him why he thinks SEO is going to be a good fit for his business right now, today. So one of 2 things is happening. I'm gauging his interest level, right, to see, did the seed I plant work, right? Did he actually watch the video? So maybe he didn't. What happens if he didn't watch the video? So it didn't work, right? But if he did, and I did my job, based on what he had watched from the seed that was planted, I want, in the beginning, Bob to tell me why he thinks search engine optimization, or why he thinks keto, or Mark Cuban's amazing investment strategy is a good fit for him, compared to me having to start out selling him on why I think it is, right? I want to flip the script. That is why planting the seed is so important, right? So immediately Bob will be like, Well, I've been really, trying ads over here and there. I have a specific business, and I know that if I can rank in these specific terms, I'm gonna be able to crush my competitors, right? Cool. So what happens is, based on his response, I know the interest level of Bob, right? So boom, that's an amazing thing. Cool. Well, why now? Why is now the time to actually do it? Why we ask this question is too, is you're also gauging, and you're almost kind of, you're getting them in the mind frame of like, why today is the day to take action. Why is now the time to actually move forward with this, right? We don't want to work, and we want to qualify people. We don't want people who are going to procrastinate. We want to know that people are in the right time today to be able to start implementing change, especially if you're selling a high ticket product or service. And by asking it this way, hopefully Bob will tell you also why now. So we're getting a good frame here. Now, what happens if he doesn't know, or maybe he didn't watch your video, your seed that was planted maybe wasn't effective, right? Or maybe they watched the video of a webinar, right? And it got cut off. One thing that you always want to clarify is, based on whatever it was that happened before this step, like maybe it was a webinar or video, ask them ahead of time if they were to watch it. Like literally, like that's it. So hey, cool. And this would be part of, in step 1 of your agenda, you would clarify in that. So cool, go today, just to clarify, you did get to watch the entire webinar. Great. Or just to clarify, before we hopped on today, were you able to review the video that we had sent over? That'd be step 1, right after you're setting your agenda. And just to clarify, were you able to do the homework, right? If you have homework or there's something you need for your call and your conversation, clarify that ahead of time, and then you'll be able to gauge. So let's say I say Bob, and I'm like, so Bob, I'm curious, right? Right now, there's tons of ways. Listen to the finesse of what I'm telling you. Not just why blank, why now. So Bob, right now when it comes to losing weight, right, there's tons of different things out there, right? Intermittent fasting, bodybuilding style, counting calories, right? Why do you think that keto is gonna be like the right fit to go for you compared to the others, right? And why is it now so important to actually start making this change? See how I level it out? Because I want Bob to tell me why keto is better than the other things. I don't want to tell him why I think it's better than the other things. And then also, what happens if he gives me resistance and he says, you know what, I don't know. I've been doing research and stuff. I'm not sure what's the best fit. There's intermittent fasting, there's these other things. I watched the video, but I just have some questions and concerns, and I'm not 100% sure. Okay, cool, no problem, right? So that tells me that his interest level is a little bit, lower, uncertainty, right? So you can kind of gauge it, right? Maybe he's at like a 5. He's just right in the middle, and he's unsure of whether or not keto is going to be the best fit for him. So what do we do? What do we do in this case? We still continue on the flow of the conversation, because the next step after this is going to be the biggest part, and really diving into the identity and addressing it and seeing what's really going on. And we're going to get another shot to leverage again in a future step. So this step is just to gauge where they are, get them to go ahead and start telling you what you thumbs up. What you really want is, you really want to be like they tell you this, right? So let's say that this influencer is you're closing for a company, an influencer, and it's not Mark Cuban, right? Let's say in this case, for the internet program, you're selling an investing program, and let's see, I don't know, give me a name, James, right? There's a new influencer out there, his name is James, and James has 250K followers on social media, right? 250,000 followers. Some people know him, some people don't. He does, nowhere near the level that Mark Cuban is. And you're on James's team, and James is selling keto, right? So James wants to be known in the fitness space. You're on his team, you get paid a commission. So we want to not only leverage keto, but if you're closing for somebody else, especially an influencer, you also want to leverage their interest level in James, right? I want to know, where is Bob at right now in his interest level on keto, and where is his interest on James? So to do that, so cool, I got you. So what really interests you in James? I know you're uncertain on keto, but why? There's a lot of people out there that is teaching keto as well. So while you're doing your research, what really stuck out in James, right? Because I want him to go ahead and start telling me something positive about the influencer, again, to start gauging his interest level in James. And if he says, like, dude, I don't know, I just came across him 2 days ago. This has actually happened to me before. I had a closing call where I was on and I had leveraged the influencer, and they're like, you know, I don't know anything about him. I literally just watched one video. They're like, oh, I watched one video 2 days ago. So they were like really brand new. So I know, like, okay, they're here. They're bottom of the interest level because they don't know much about this individual, right? So now I know in my head there's one of two things can happen. If the interest level is really low right now in keto, I don't really have a lot of leveraging power, and the interest level is really low here, I better do a damn good job to see if they're a good fit in their quality. And you want to go ahead and knowing that the interest level is low, you can build the interest level over the call, but just know in this case, it's okay if it goes to a follow-up. It's okay. If the whole, again, guys, the goal here is not to close everybody, right? I've talked about this in actually, I haven't talked about this yet. I might do this in another video, but you're not trying to close 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, right? Because 80, 90, and 100% of people are not going to be a good fit and qualified for the program or service that you're doing. They're not going to take action. They're not going to get results. They may not be in the right stage of their business or the right stage of their life, and that's okay, right? It is our job to qualify and engage them. But if I'm on there and I leverage something and somebody says, I'm not really too sure on keto yet, and I just came across James 2 days ago, right? Well, the best thing we can do at the end of the conversation is get them to take action. Remember, closing through this process is not trying to get somebody to just pay you. Closing is getting someone to take action. So if I think that Bob's a good fit throughout this conversation, it is my job to be like, oh man, he would get so much results. Like if you know deep down, this program will really serve him, that he's got the right mindset, he's got the right identity, you know he's gonna take action, then at the end of the conversation, if it is going to follow up, you want to close Bob on taking the action of watching more videos of James that you feel would best serve him. Why? Because we want the belief and the interest level into what you are leveraging, both of these things, to go up, right? So now when you follow up, the interest level is higher and you have a better shot of closing him. Remember, closing is always action, 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 action. Can I do my job in the conversation, go through the 8 steps, hit the steps 3 and 4, which we can cover in future videos, and actually do my job correctly, get this person to take action. And if it is low and you do your job right and all of a sudden they do spark interest, I will show you guys the different examples later on of how to be able to handle this. And actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and cover it now. What are we at in time? So if we were going to go ahead and re-leverage this later, I'm going to go ahead and cover, and we're going to jump ahead, right? We're going to jump into step 6. Because step 6, re-leverage. So step 2 is leverage, step 6 is re-leverage. When you get to this part of the conversation in step 6, later on, based off their interest level, you're going to know whether or not you need this. And at a good habit, I like to always re-leverage regardless, but you don't have to. If somebody's like really, really sold, you don't really have to. So let's say in this example, Bob tells me that he knows, he loves James, he's really, really into keto. We go through all the other steps. We understand his goals, we understand his pain. Everything comes together and it makes sense to him, right? Now, based on his goals, if Bob's goal is to lose 30 pounds in X amount of time, right now, when I get to step 6 of this process of being re-leveraged, I get to reaffirm what I leveraged in step 2. So cool. So Bob, I know that you really want to get to, losing 30 pounds in a certain amount of time, and the thing that was holding you back was X, Y, Z, right? Do you feel that keto is going to be the right fit to be able to get you to your goal? Let me say that again. Do you feel that whatever you leveraged before, that actually doubling down and focusing on keto is going to help you get to your goal, right? Because I need Bob at this step to tell me yes, right? Why am I doing this? Because I don't want to go into their goals, and you don't want to go into their pain, and you don't want to have to still later on tell them why it's a good fit to help them get to their goal. I want the prospect to tell me why it's a good fit to get to their goal, right? Now, let me give you another scenario. So this is what happened before, like in this example, right? The 2 days ago. So this individual had said that I watched a video 2 days ago and I crushed the call. Like it was pristine. Based on his goals, I said, listen, you want to get to here, here's your goal, and the thing that's holding you back is this, this, and this, but at this point, do you feel that keto would be the thing to get you there? And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I really do. Okay, cool. Instead of re-leveraging James and making him sell himself on me, he already told me this, that he just came across him 2 days ago. So what I did was I actually did a takeaway in step 6. I said, well, listen, there's a problem. And he goes, well, what's the problem? I said, well, the problem is I know that this is where you want to go and that you're interested in getting in keto, but you told me in the beginning of the call that you don't even know anything about James. In fact, that you just came across him 2 days ago. I mean, you wouldn't feel comfortable like learning and getting coached by somebody that you don't know much about yet, right? You see what I did there? Because his interest level was low on the influencer, or if they're low on the concept, right? Same thing. You have another shot later in the conversation in step 6 for re-leverage to gauge their interest again or do a takeaway. So same thing. Let's say it was just keto. Hey, we have a problem, right? Well, what's the problem? I know you want to get to here and stuff, but you told me you weren't sure on keto, right? Do you, even if it means being able to get to your goals, are you really willing to take action and follow a plan that will help you with actually executing a ketogenic diet, even though you're still not sure whether or not it's the right fit for you? You do a takeaway. So if their interest level here is low, you want to shoot a takeaway. This is very, very important. If the interest level is low on any things, you want to do a takeaway, and you get to throw in their face that you told me that whatever, and do you think you wouldn't be comfortable actually learning and implementing action on this if you don't even think it's going to be a good fit for you, right? Why am I doing that? Because again, if their interest level is low at this point later in the conversation, I don't want to sell them. I shouldn't have to explain to them why I think it's a good fit. You're going to tell me why you think it's a good fit. And if you don't think it's a good fit, you're still sure, and you say no to this. You say absolutely not. You're right. I don't know, James. This just came across him. You're right. I need to get to know him better. Okay, cool. Guess what? You stop at step 6. That's it. There's no going to 7 and 8, right? So this is steps 2 and 6 combined. Why? Because they coincide. Leverage is step 2. Re-leveraging later is step 6, right? And if the interest level is low on one of these, you are going to do a takeaway when you get to the step 6 part to reaffirm. And if they agree with you and say, you know what, you're right, I'm not, then you would go to follow up, right? You don't want to be in a position where you're having to convince them of anything. You want to be able to get them to take action, leverage tools, videos, anything that you have to bring that interest level up again and put them in a position to sell themselves. But if you do your job right in the middle steps, I'm telling you, when you address identity, you address pain, and you address what it's costing them, you'd be surprised how often the takeaway, and I did close this deal, by the way, it's still closed. One of the individual who, for the influencer, just heard of him 2 days ago, he literally was like, no, I'd be okay with that. Listen, if he can help me and give me the accountability and get me to the results, I'm completely fine with it. Awesome, right? Turn into a deal. So that's why steps 2 and step 6, later on, leveraging, re-leveraging, super important. It's also why it's important that you plant the seed correctly. So make sure, if you haven't watched that video, definitely do so. What did you guys think of this? Are there any epiphanies coming across? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you've ever encountered and used something like this before. If you've ever asked this question, share that with the rest of the audience. If you have any questions regarding to this, let me know. And if you like these type of videos and you want me to keep going with teaching you the rest of the steps from 2 to 6 and then 7 and 8, make sure you subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bells, and I will see you guys in the next video.